YouTube, we're back. Another training session. Now with two athletic dads. Excited to introduce to anybody who doesn't know, who hasn't followed us on the Cutoffs to Coffee podcast or followed T3 Performance, anything we've done over the last decade. Don't know JPD, James DiBiasio, my best friend, my best training partner, a wealth of knowledge. I've learned almost everything that I know about this field from this guy. Excited to have him on for a training session. James, you want to tell him what we're going to get into?
Yeah, we're gonna hit one-handed snatches. Now we're gonna just hit some position one snatches. We're gonna do some powers with it, and we're gonna do some full movements based on like what we feel like in that individual set. Then we're gonna hit just some strict press until we can't, and then we're gonna push press it, and then we're just gonna try and rip some chin-ups, pull-ups to finish it off. So not a normal training day. Normally we run around a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's good to have that balance where you can kind of show up, get what you can get in the time that you have, and just like keep moving forward.
And we're going to talk about training as an adult, training as you get earlier, once you get older, after high school athletics are done, after college athletics are done, after some of your early on pursuits post-college are done. What can you do to either get yourself back into training or add a little bit of variation to your training so you enjoy it as you get older, with the idea of that we're going to train for the next 70, 80 years. Anything else? You ready to get into it?
No, that's
All
it.
right,
Let's do it.
Here it is.
The athletic dads.
Do you want to catch full?
I'm gonna do whatever.
Okay.
I'm on this pretty, like super specific programming.
Yeah, I like catching full to start, and then we'll go just from the hip. Power. I've been moving my hands in a bit.
Yeah.
Which has been surprisingly successful.
Helpful with the pull.
Great with the pull.
Helpful with the pull. Sometimes difficult with the squat.
135.
Let's do another there.
Another here?
Yeah, do another there. So it's like you go no feet until you have to use your feet.
Yeah. And you go full until you have to power. That's like, that's my...
You go power until you have to.
Yeah, that's my approach. Yeah.
What are you trying to get up to? Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I just think a good top single or double.
Okay.
Full till you can't. Stay back. There we go.
Use your hands.
Say it again.
Use your hands.
At the top?
After the hip. Pass the weight from your hip to your hands.
To the hands.
To the hands.
Yeah, I gotta remind myself to punch when that thing gets up top. Smooth. Yeah.
Oh, we went to that. You said 35s and then loaded 135. I was thinking
135.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Good,
I don't know
okay.
bar math with 35 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The origin story?
Yeah, with your weightlifting.
Yeah. Did you know it is a separate entity from CrossFit?
No.
Like you did CrossFit.
No, I don't think
and
at the
CrossFit
time
had Olympic lifting in it, but
Yeah.
you didn't disassociate.
I don't think I thought about it at the time as something outside of CrossFit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We did hang powers in high school.
Awesome.
We did push presses, but our spotters brought the weight down for us. Right? So it's
Classic.
like I'm
Okay.
135 pounds and I'm push pressing 135 pounds, and I have two of my teammates carrying the weight down so I could try again.
Really?
And like that made sense to our staff.
Yeah,
That,
yeah.
Like, it looked good. It was like, oh yeah, this is athletic.
This is what we want.
This is it. This is it. And then, didn't do it again until after college baseball.
Okay. And you've mentioned like when you first got, maybe first the wrong word, but when you got like deep into strength and conditioning for performance.
Right.
And you were with the baseball boys.
Yeah.
No cleans, no snatches. Was it just strength stuff that carried over because you were new to it? Because I try to think about that. Like, I was bodybuilder lifting, but the early progress helped make me feel more confident playing football, which helped me then be a better football player. But if I would have sprinted and jumped and done all the stuff that we know now, I feel like I don't know. Like a better result. There's no telling, no assuming that would have been any better.
There wasn't like a negative connotation when I was a strength coach to baseball and Olympic lifting.
There was
like to start. It wasn't like
when you were a coach.
It wasn't like don't do it. It was just like no one did it.
Yeah.
Like for all sports. You know what I mean? And then we did it a lot, like old school T3. We did a lot of hang cleans and a lot of shrugs and a lot of snatches, but not like catching anything full.
Yeah.
So then when I got my USAW through Reggie, I had like all of those little experiences, and then I met Reggie, and that was like a pure version of the sport of Olympic lifting.
Yeah.
And I was so bad at it that I was like determined to learn the technique.
Yeah. Were you the first one? I'm sorry. Were you then the first one?
Throw that 10 on.
The first one to bring that type of
like
Olympic weightlifting specific training to the facility?
Yeah. And it was
and did that come in the form of barbell?
Yeah, that was
barbell group?
That was barbell, right? Barbell was an excuse for me to run my own class, to do what I wanted in our system that we had then.
Yeah.
And it was like, you're not doing this at high school. I'm learning how to do this, and I'm teaching you how to do this. I think it's helpful.
Yeah.
And it was. And so then like we had an adult growth after the athletes learned. So like the first people to compete were all high school athletes on T3 barbell.
And those were, you found the people who you believed to be the best athletes?
Yeah, they
and
just
brought them into the...
Yeah, they wanted the harder workout.
Yeah.
And it was like a combination of harder speed, a lot of Olympic lifting, one strength block, and really tough like core finishers and like, the stuff that everybody doesn't want to do.
Right. And that year was?
17.
17.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's still pretty much the blueprint.
Yeah, it's a good map.
Right?
You can't, it's not going to change.
8 years later.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Smooth.
Ooh. Yeah, I think that as a former athlete, you'll find the challenge of the movement is what's like the exciting part.
Yeah.
So it's like unlocking a PR or unlocking a new position, being able to catch a snatch for the first time low, or just like not being able to and just bullying it.
That too.
As a power, because you got long ass limbs.
Oh.
So I think that's where
I wanted to go double there and then single at 225.
That's where it's fun. Yeah, I would just rip the Band-Aid off. Just do it all together.
As soon as I figure out how to do it,
Yeah. No, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I always say, like, that's my favorite thing about it is after a decade of doing it, almost every session you get feedback that helps you accomplish the task better. I mean, it's crazy.
I don't know why it's so controversial.
Right.
It's just a bar.
And I wanted to ask about that too. Like, again, I come from the mindset that people assume when you say you're doing cleans and snatches, or when you say you're strength training an athlete, it means 315 on a back squat, it means 225 on a snatch, it means 275 on a clean and jerk, like in their mind.
Yeah.
And that's what makes them say, this is not age appropriate, this is not healthy for the athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many times have you heard somebody say like, oh, I don't do powerlifting, after you just tell them that you clean and jerk and snatch? It's like, you know what I mean? So,
curse of knowledge.
Yeah.
Like what we know, we assume everybody else knows. And like you said, you're like, I'm snatching.
Right.
And people are like, oh no, I don't powerlift.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah,
neither do I. It's cool.
Yeah,
Right.
neither do I.
Same. Yeah, I think you can't ever take away the athleticism that's
Right.
required of the movements. Getting heavy.
Nice.
Gross. We're sliding.
Obviously, you can't tell in a weight room how good somebody is on the field. And you can't say just because they're an athlete on the field, they're good in the weight room. But I can't think of an athlete who can snap a heavy clean, snap a heavy snatch, and then not express athleticism or be a good athlete.
The frame would be, you don't know an athlete that is explosive, violent on the field, that also isn't able to move weight and stop weight really fast.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Those are like the general principles of what's.
it's like I have to
What the
move. I have
expression
to move
is.
the weight. I have to move myself. I have to stop the weight.
Yeah.
Then I have to move myself again.
And I've got to be precise in all of those in every single step.
Right. But
Dominant
even,
on the
like,
field
even
or
if
who
you
bad
catch,
on the field.
even if you catch a hang power clean shitty, it's still, you had to move the weight, move you, stop the weight,
Yep.
move you.
Yeah, yeah.
So like even if the technique's not there, the athlete was still able to do those things.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it just takes the implementation of the skill
Right.
and all the reps.
There you go. How do you use your hands?
We'll take it.
That's good.
We'll take it.
Oh, that was good.
Smooth.
No feet, no fun.
Nice.
Dude, you know they're tossing weight when you're in the bathroom and they shake the wall and you like jump, like you get a jump scare when you're like trying to just have some peace and quiet. Ugh! By the way, the bathroom's right. It's right there.
And then, yeah, do you want to strict until we can't and then push press?
Now we're talking. So, have you ever done a workout that you regretted?
Not once.
Not once. Not a single time
No.
in the history of me working out have I been like, man, I shouldn't have trained today.
I wish I wouldn't have
Right?
done that.
When I
Yeah.
was an athlete or when I was an adult. So like, therefore, that's like
point.
principle one,
Yeah.
is like, just work out.
When it comes to training as an adult.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Right? You'll never regret it in the moment after. So,
So-
like, if you've never regretted a workout, that means it doesn't matter what you choose to do. Right?
Right.
And then it's like, after that, so if you're gonna do something, then you should like do the lower and the upper body, and then again, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah,
right? So it's
sure.
like, it doesn't matter.
Sure.
So I think it's like understand like what type of person you are, and then if you know that like I'm the type of person I don't need a plan to go in because I don't have like specific goals other than like doing this for another 20, 30 years, right? So if like the goal is like to still do it for 30 years,
Right.
then I just have to do it now.
Right.
So like that is the goal. Working out is the goal. And if you are a person then that has a specific goal, like just like don't write the program for yourself.
Yeah.
Just like get something.
And I don't think the issue is having a programming, having a goal. Most of the times individuals who are goal oriented and driven are the ones looking back at the people exercise and saying like, why don't you, you know what I mean? Like why aren't you doing this?
Yeah.
But I think the big thing is there's some point where you stop. And a lot of people have stayed at that point.
Like stop making progress? Or
No, just stop
working out?
exercising,
Right.
stop training, right? So
Yeah.
like life, and again, it's a lot of like our former teammates.
Yeah.
No longer an athlete. I'm gonna
Yeah.
pursue things from a professional side, and I just don't have time, let's say, to get back to it. And then eventually it's 10, 12, 15 years, and you're thinking, how did I get away from it? And then now what?
And now it's hard to
Yeah.
do it again.
And now it's hard to go back into it. So I think that's probably
So it's like you've never
that's
so,
probably
like,
the people I talk to the most.
rule one is never stop.
Rule one is never stop.
Rule two is if you stop, get started as soon as possible, even if it's the day that you had the idea, I should start working out again.
Yeah.
Do it that day.
Yeah.
Right? So shorten that. Right?
Yeah.
And then do something.
And it's got to be lowest barrier to entry.
Like-
It's do something at home.
Yeah.
Push-ups, sit-ups, jumping jacks, start
Like-
a habit, lunge.
Lunging.
Or it's go to a gym 5 minutes down the street instead of the gym 20 minutes down the street.
The
What's that?
Bench press 55.
Let's go.
okay.
Nice. How'd that
CT's
feel?
favorite lift.
Good. What's the next bench press goal? 60 pounds? Love to hear it.
Yeah.
Love to hear it.
All right. All right.
Something I was talking about on my buddy's podcast the other day is, even kind of as corny as it sounds, like identifying as somebody who exercises and trains and does hard things and also doesn't lie,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
So this is what I do. I talk to my friends about this. When we go out to eat, I talk about my training routine. I have a gym membership. I am someone who makes healthy decisions and does things that people who exercise do.
Yeah.
But then the next step is, how easy is it then to not do that, right? And
just-
lie about
and
it.
still talk about
And
it.
still talk about
Yeah,
it.
still talk
Right.
about it.
So like personally, I identify as somebody who exercises, and I also don't like the thought of lying to people about it.
Right.
Right? So it's like, okay, so I have to then, when it comes down to making those decisions, I have to make those, the decisions that somebody who trains would, a decision they would make.
Yeah.
And-
I tell people what I could do, not what I can.
Right. Right.
Well, I could do that.
Yeah.
If I worked out as much as him.
Yes. Yep.
Little blended set there.
I dig it.
One strict.
Yeah, and the other thing is, it is hard, right? So I understand why people would do it.
But it isn't. That's like my argument is it's
Sure.
not. So like, if you're gonna be honest, let's really be honest,
Right.
and it's not hard
And these individuals
Because-
do things harder than that.
because hard is a relative
Yeah.
term. So it's like, okay, whatever you just told me is hard to do less than that and make it easy, but do something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then don't put these subjective measures around something that just is.
Right.
Training just is. Just train.
Yeah.
Train easy.
Yeah, yeah. Right.
You want to train hard, train hard.
Hey, brother.
But like, it's so relative.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So we had
Because
the
people who train hard look at not as hard training sessions
Yeah.
as easy, but that could be a training session for somebody who doesn't train that's super hard.
that's right.
And it would be impossible to them to be able to imagine doing training like this, but they don't have to do training like that.
So would I rather train hard for 1 year or train easy for 10? I'd rather train easy for 10.
Yeah, just starting. You know, it's not even like be hard and get up at 4 a.m. Like you don't
No.
have to. You
Yeah.
know, like you don't have to do that.
You want to do that for 10 years?
Right.
Probably not.
Right.
So don't do it.
Find something sustainable, a gym that's close. Build something in your house. Yeah. Nice.
Get so consistent that it's hard to not do it. Then all of a sudden, hard is not working out.
Yeah.
And easy is working out. We're the easiest people to lie. Like, it's easiest to lie to ourselves.
Heck yeah.
And it's also hardest to really lie to ourselves.
Right.
So the more we lie to ourselves and accept it, we really know we're lying to ourselves and our self-worth is diminished.
We've all done it.
Right.
Right? I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. Everybody goes to bed. You don't do that thing. You look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, damn, yeah, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it tomorrow.
And then your friends are like, oh, you're just so hard on yourself. Well, no, you're not. If you're hard on yourself, you would have freaking done it.
Oh, man. It's a good point there, too. If you were that hard on yourself,
You would have just done
it
the
would
hard
have
thing.
been done.
You would have just done the hard thing.
Hip push, nice. Nice. Smooth. Yep. Had an athlete the other day, as you see all the time, like 12 10s. Everybody's looking around, they're like, where are all the 10s at? My man was just stacking 10s.
Oof. It does look cooler.
Hey man, it does look cool. New plate PR.
Yeah.
I had 10 plates on there. Most plates I've ever had.
Or you're gonna push press. Got it. Let's go. There you go.
Yes.
That's it. Easy.
Ah.
All right.
Nice. Sneak the accessories in. Ah. Yeah. Right to it. Oh boy.